Roll call, please. Here?
Here.
Here. Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No, sir.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of December 12th, 2024.
Motion to approve those minutes.
And I second them.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Bid openings, I don't see anything. Number 6, matters from other department heads or their representatives. Nobody? Okay, moving on to correspondence. Letter A, correspondence received from Bernard Gazzolia, Fire Chief, recommending the approval of Battalion Chief Christopher Titan be promoted to the rank of Assistant Chief effective December 15th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter B, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval of the 2024 lighting project contract with Midwestern Electric.
Good morning to the
Good morning.
venerable board.
How are you, Mr. Button?
Doing well, thank you.
Good.
This is the sort of called citywide street lighting project. We opened bids some time ago for Midwestern Electric was the low bidder. These are certain locations in the 3rd and 4th districts. Contracts are there for your approval. It's being funded through previously approved council gaming. So we just need you to approve the agreements.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Letter C, correspondence received from American Structure Point Incorporated recommending the bid for the Memorial Park redevelopment be awarded to Dyer Construction Company Incorporated, who was the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, in the amount of $3,193,818.14.
This was the bid that was opened last week, one of the 2 bids that was opened last week. It is under the engineer's estimate. We feel like we got favorable pricing. The bulk of the funding for this project is coming from the American Rescue Plan Act funds. So we ask for your approval to award the agreement to Dyer Construction.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter D, correspondence received from Chris Campbell, Director of Information Technology, requesting the approval for the Comcast Business Service Order to install temporary coax internet service at the new Fire Station 2. I don't see that as a problem, do you guys? Yeah.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter E, correspondence received from Controller's Office requesting the approval of the renewal of amusement device license for El Taco Real, Michigan Bar and Grill, and American Legion Post 232.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, number 8, matters from board members. Anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Number 9, new business. Letter A, C-Click Fix, request for a stop sign at the intersection of the alley of Madison, alley and Madison Street, sorry.
So this is the church, can't recall the name. It's at Madison and 169th Street. And the alley runs east and west, paralleling 169th Street. We looked at that, and we normally don't put stop signs in alleys. What I would be happy to do is make a recommendation to the board next week in writing. We could ask Public Works to install a yield to pedestrians. That would be my advice, and I'll write that recommendation up.
Yeah, and I just want to make note, they may
is.
be requesting it because a lot of their parking is across the alley, so, you know, their churchgoers have to cross the alley to get to their cars, I think.
That is true, right? That the church secretary spoke to my department. This was about people driving too fast down the alleyway at church dismissal, right? So it's really a yield condition that would prevail here. So I will, if you want to refer to engineering, I'll write a written recommendation and have something back to you on by the next meeting.
That sounds good.
Motion to, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
trying to do something else. Motion to refer to engineering for follow-up.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter B, right-of-way permits. Looks like there's 5 of them received from engineering submitted for approval.
Yeah, the bulk of these are repairs by NIPSCO or their subcontractor Mead, doing gas repairs in alleys. There is one other one that is by AT&T, which is open cut crossing of 165th and Summer Street, that skewed intersection for them to provide service to a customer. It's gone through the water department, and the water department asked that they open cut because there's some water lines in the area they don't want to be hit, and so we'd ask for your approval of those permits.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Letter C, plat of the Memorial Park addition received from Planning Development, submitted for approval.
Hi, Tom Novak, Assistant City Planner here. So this is land that was deeded from the Parks Department to the Redevelopment Department. The intention here is, we're subdividing it into 28 lots for single-family homes, approximately 50 feet, 6,000 square feet. Some of them are bigger, some smaller. Lots 2 through 9, 8 units of duplexes across 4 buildings, and Lot 1 on the north end will be a senior living facility, multi-story eventually. So we cleaned up the easements, some easements that weren't in use. We added the easements that we need. We platted the roads. Basically, we're extending Noble and Ray Avenue north of Highland Street, creating 2 new rows of housing.
Okay.
So this went through Plan Commission just last Tuesday. It was approved unanimously.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, number 10, old business, letter A, status for 1434 Sherman.
Was. Right, so 1434 Sherman, this property, when it was up last time in October, Bill gave an update and mentioned that he believed that by the time it was going to be up in front of you again on November 14th, that it was going to be done. It wasn't done yet, so we set it today over for another status. Nick, do you have any update outside of, you thought it was rescinded?
Yeah, the inspector for the district stated that the final inspections had been completed, according to
Thank you.
the information that they had.
Okay, so we've already, this one we don't need to have any action by the board. It's been rescinded and recorded, so we're good.
Okay, so no action for 1434 Sherman.
It's already been removed from the demo list.
Gotcha. Okay, moving on to letter B, status for 30 Warren. Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Could you give us your name, please?
Felipe Hernandez, owner of 30 Warren.
Okay. Felipe was your first name?
Felipe is the first name, yes, sir.
So on 30 Warren, just a quick update. There was an issue regarding failure to appear in June, September, and November. He was ordered to appear today. The good news, I guess, is that the final inspections are complete, and Mr. Luda's requested an order to rescind as of the 13th. So I think we're going to, if we could, just confirm that we're going to issue an order to rescind, and this matter will be concluded.
Motion to confirm the order to rescind.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Letter C, status for 1463 Indianapolis Boulevard.
1463 Indianapolis Boulevard, as of, is anybody here on that?
Yep.
No, I mean, is there an owner, Nick, or no?
What's that?
Do we have an owner here or no?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
As far as our records are concerned with the permits, it looks like on 9/20, there was a final pass for the building, and electrical, plumbing, final pass 9/23, and then the mechanical pass as well on 9/23.
Yeah, we had an order to appear because on November 21st, nobody appeared. I have this owned by a Mr. Correa, Correa. The last time we had a status from Mr. Luder was that the project was moving forward and the installation had passed. So it sounds like things are continuing to move forward. We are under an expired rehab agreement since June. And the reason it hasn't been renewed, I believe, is just because we have a failure to appear on the last couple statuses. So if Mr. Farrell's satisfied that the inspections are continuing to pass, then we can take it off, or we can set it for one last status.
Yeah, I mean, I feel if it passed all final inspections, they call them in and everything has been inspected according to our notes in the system, so I don't see, unless you guys want the owner to appear.
Well, I mean, if this is the second
Yeah.
time he was supposed to, why is he not appearing? I don't understand. He didn't appear in November, here we are today, why is he not here today?
Yeah, I couldn't answer that question.
If we could set it, I'm also looking for a letter, just making sure. I don't see the letter in the file. I assume we gave him notice, but usually the letter's in here.
Okay.
So if we could maybe just set a short status, and I would like to request inspections on both 30 Warren and 1463 Indianapolis to forward final photos.
How soon do you want it to be, December 26th?
Do you think you can get photos by then with everybody out? Or we can get, I just want to make sure, like, the holidays, like, notice to them. Do you want to maybe say the 9th of?
January 9th?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, motion to set the matter for status for January the 9th, 2025,
Order to appear?
in order to appear to be
Thank you.
sent.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter D, status for 847 117th Street.
So this is the Sears property. Mr. Sears is here. Last time we were here, we had some photos of insulation in the roof. It was set for status today.
Yeah, I guess your injury healed up, huh? You had what would you injure, shoulder,
Hand, I think,
wrist,
wasn't it?
something? Yeah. Yeah.
It's still sore.
Gotcha.
When I was younger, I could bounce off of these things, but now they bounce back at me.
It happens to all of us, don't worry. Where are you at right now with the property?
I had a final inspection on the insulation
Okay,
with the Hammond inspector. I got permission to begin installing drywall where I could, not covering up any plumbing, because the plumbing has to be done. I'm working towards getting a inspection I gotta get a plumber on the gas lines. So once I get a gas line in there, I can get the gas service turned on and I can start having heat. I won't be able to do any mudding, obviously in the wintertime with no heat. I have a permit for installing the drywall. I'm doing it myself, and we're making headway.
What's the timeline on the gas line?
Well, I've got to get my son-in-law over there, and his brother's a licensed plumber, and I don't know. I'm going to push it with him and see if we can get moving on that.
I mean, do you have, it's always, in these instances, obviously, there's always two things. One, when's the contractor ready to go, and then how to get it scheduled, and then also financial capacity. So financially, you're still good to go on the gas line and things like that, the
Yes.
things that are going to?
Yes. I've probably already spent $3,000 on drywall.
we're probably gonna have to set a status on this, so do you have any idea of when you kind of expect this to be done? You have to give us some kind of idea.
I'd like to request a 90-day continuance, and at that time, I'll show progress on the drywall, I'll show progress on the gas line, and whatever the next step is.
Yeah, so just the board is aware, last year we had statuses in February, April, May, August, September, and in September, because there had been some work finally that had been progressing, we gave them a 90 for
Okay.
today. So it sounds like if the insulation inspection final passed, that's progress. I don't have a problem with a 3-month if the board's okay with a 3-month.
Yeah, I guess as long as you're trying your best to always meet deadlines here. So we're going to extend you that 90-day window, but make sure that you're moving along as quickly as possible, okay?
Yes, obviously, without heat in the building, it's going to be a little tough.
I understand.
Mr. Sears, if you'd please call for the inspection before that status date, so we can go on and get some pictures and show that progress has been made.
Excellent, sure.
Okay, appreciate that.
Is March 20th is suitable?
That's fine.
Is that okay? Okay.
Motion to set the matter for status for March 20th, 2025.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, sir, we'll see you March 20th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, letter E, status for 6349 through 51 Jefferson.
All right, So we have the reason this was set for status was we had an amended rehab agreement that expired December 15th. And we're here for status to see if everything was completed. I don't know if it was.
In accordance to our records that we have as of today's date, the bond was posted 11/6, and then a building permit was pulled. There have been no inspections, though.
When was the building permit?
I'm assuming the same date as 11/6, because we wouldn't issue a permit unless we had the bond posted, confirmation of that.
Yeah, so again, a little upsetting that we don't have anybody here, because, you know, this is something where I'm just to give you an idea, the rehab agreement was signed on the 12th day of September. So they get 90 days to work on everything. Looks like they took 2 months to pull their bond and their permit. On this kind of thing, I would request an order to appear pretty quickly, maybe that January 9th date, and make sure we get a letter out to them, and Linda and Madeline will make sure of that.
Yeah, because I got to be honest, that's frustrating when you give them 3 months and they wait 2 months to even get started, and then they come in here and say,
I need more time.
give us more time.
Yep.
So, okay.
Yep. And we have a valid demo order, so I would request that the inspections department by January 9th, let us know if any work's been done.
Okay.
And if no work's been done, I think the board has the right to decide which direction they're going, because they'll have a expired rehab agreement. We now have a bond that we can use to knock the place down if they're not going to do it.
Okay.
If they're not going to do the work on it.
Motion to set the matter for status for January 9th, 2025, and to send correspondence for order to appear.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter F, status for 848 Truman.
848 Truman, so this is, I've been dealing with Attorney Driscoll on this, and Mr. Castro. Is Rich here today, or he must be off for? Okay. So this is one where we were going to give him a chance to kind of accumulate the property around there and hopefully do a rehab, but I haven't got an update from Rich on this yet.
The records for the property reflect that the bond was submitted in June, mechanical rough passed, building insulation inspection passed on 9/17, electrical rough July, and then the plumbing permit, there's no inspections. So it's pretty much just rough inspections for the most part.
I have a transfer of the property, so I have a transfer of the property in April or May, thereabouts. They paid off the cost of the demo order, but I haven't heard anything from Rich on whether or not the new folks, like I don't have a rehab agreement on this, Nick, do you know?
I'm unaware if a rehab agreement was signed or not.
Okay.
Do an order to appear again?
Yeah, if we could do January 9th, and I'm going to make sure we have the new owner
Okay.
notified.
Okay.
Motion to set the matter for status for January 9th, 2025, and to issue an order to appear.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Moving on to letter G, status for 4919 Pine.
Um, 4919 Pine, last time we had them in here was September 5th. They had a rehab agreement that's been expired for some time. On September 5th, Bill mentioned that there were no permits pulled for the interior work done. There was, we wanted to keep the findings in order in place, but we'll move to citation with the inspections department. I don't know if that ever happened, and we set it for today for 1219 for status.
So according to the records for this property address, there was a building permit pulled, however, no inspections called in. And then the plumbing permit that was issued had a pre-pour inspection, but no final, so very little to minimal.
The owner I have is Yomisha Mitchell, and we had her sign an original agreement back in 2023 that expired mid-year, and then a second rehab was attempted, but she never signed it. Although we showed, let's see, July 1st of 23 was the last expiration date. We tried to give her a second extension through December 14th, and that never happened. So Mr. Luter did indicate back in 2023 that there was a permit for the roof, which was completed, but I don't know if any work's been done since then.
Okay, so same kind of thing, January 9th, order to appear?
And then you had a citation issued, Kevin?
I don't know, was the citation issued?
I am not aware of that. I was checking the permits.
Okay, so we're going to check on that too. We'll get a
Okay.
report back. So I'd ask for inspections to report back on whether a citation was issued back in September
Okay.
and the status of that.
Okay.
Motion to set the matter for status for January 9th, 2025, and issue an order to appear.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Letter H, late business license for Cintier Bank.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Could you please give us your name?
Certainly. My name is Anthony Jones.
Good morning, Mr. Jones. Can you tell us what happened, why the license was late?
Well, we attempted to mail out checks to cover the fee for the business license.
Okay.
Apparently, they weren't received. I have with me copies of us requesting a stop payment of those items and 3 checks to supplant what hasn't been paid, if we may.
Okay. So these checks were mailed out individually?
Yes,
Okay, in each year, they were mailed out individually?
yes,
Okay, by you or by somebody else?
by our accounting department.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And what's your position at the bank?
Branch manager at the
Branch
Hammond
man-
downtown location
I
on
gotcha.
Holman. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so what we have in accordance with our records is the last license expired in 2021. 2022 was that COVID year that they switched. They switched the expiration date for all licenses, so they gave everybody that 6-month buffer to renew and weren't collecting on 22. This is the first time that they've been late since they built the bank structure on Holman there. I don't think there would be any issue moving forward, if we were to waive the late fees.
No, we're good, Mr. Jones. We're going to waive the late fees. You will have to just make sure, though, that whatever happened with those checks, maybe if they're dropped off or something and not mailed, I don't know what happened exactly. Just make sure going forward that they get where they're supposed to be.
Well, we've taken steps to stop payments on those checks that was issued in 2024 and 2023. We have proof of the stop payments with me, but we also have payment for the fines up to date right now
Gotcha.
in relief of those late fees, if we may.
We're going to waive the late fees.
Okay.
We appreciate your business in Hammond.
Yes.
And because you haven't had any issues in the past, we're inclined to waive them this time.
We
okay?
appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you kindly. Have a great rest of your day.
You too, sir.
Merry
If you want to
Christmas.
wait till after the meeting, they'll get you the signed document that you'll need in order to take downstairs to the controllers.
Sure.
Motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, letter I, late business license for the Hammond Yacht Club.
Good morning.
Good morning. Could you
Michelle
give us your name,
Davis.
please?
Yes, Michelle Davis, recently elected Commodore of the Yacht Club.
Okay,
I received the letter that asked Brandon to appear. He is unable to appear today, so I'm here in his place.
okay, do you have an idea of what happened all these years?
I do not. Apparently, the club had a new charter, and I was told that the bills were never received here at the club. So I'm new to writing in the last year and a half, and I've started picking up the mail. That's why I got the letter at the club to appear for Brandon. And it's kind of first that we heard about it was in September board meeting. He presented a past due letter that we had never paid for the building permit. So as a board, we approved to pay the fines and the penalties at that time. So we have caught up. I've got a copy of the cleared check and a copy of the letter that says that we have a valid license through June.
Okay, can I ask you, so going forward, is Brandon still going to be responsible for paying this, or is that going to fall on you now?
It will fall on the current board. He is not on the current board.
Okay, can I ask why Brandon was unable to make it today? He's the one that would be able to answer the questions we might have.
Agreed. We asked him.
Okay, and he could not.
He could not.
Okay. So I think we're going
So
to,
the concern here is that the payment's already been made, so they are current. They've already caught up all the years they were behind. They were offered, both options up front. Either they can file for an appeal, or they could pay the late fees, and they elected to pay the late fees due to an audit that they were under, and they needed a license like immediately.
Okay.
And so this is kind of like a retroactive request of a hearing to refund late fees, which I'm not familiar with.
Well, I think our intention was to send this to Smith-Sursick and let them work out some kind of agreement with them. Is that an option, or is that not an option?
And speaking with the controller's office has requested that the board handle these along with Ms. Serrano
Okay.
at the board level, and so then if there becomes an issue there, then you can send them for collections.
Okay.
But in this instance, it's kind of a unique situation because the late payments have already been paid. I don't think there was any, to me, I don't believe there was any factual issue as to whether or not the late payments were owed. And so, generally when the late payments are made and the current payments are made, everything's squared away and they get their business license. So if I understand the request correctly, that they're requesting a refund of late payments that were owed.
Who made that? I didn't hear that requested today.
My understanding is that Brandon wrote a letter and applied for a waive or a waive of the late fees. I believe that is the case. I haven't seen it.
And that's why this was set, because a form was given to the yacht club by Ms. Serrano from the controller's office that if you have an issue, you can set it for an appeal and the board will hear it. So that's what I believe we're here for today.
I don't know Brandon, but Brandon should be here today if he wants to have the fees waived, in my opinion, so. What's that? Can Brandon be here if we wanted him here next week or some other weeks shortly? Could he be here?
It seems to me that he's not inclined to come as he's not on the board any longer. He was in the Commodore election.
Yeah, and, I don't have a problem that if the person that requested, for an entity like this, right? If the boards change and stuff, so if they want to appoint somebody else to speak for the board, because it's really the board's request, right? I'm fine that if this gentleman's not on the board anymore, is that?
He is not.
Okay, so if the board is the board and this is the representative, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Michelle Davis. So I'm the
Thank you, Michelle. Miss
Commodore. Jeff
Davis.
Coaches is also here as
Okay.
the secretary.
Okay, thought I saw, okay, yep. So, this is the board's request, meaning the yacht club board's request. My understanding is they're asking for a refund of late fees that were owed. It seems to me to be an internal issue between the board, like somebody dropped the ball, maybe this
Right.
Brandon gentleman, and they're stuck with it. Look, yacht club's been around a long time. I'm not trying to make it difficult on them, but if anything, maybe this should have been addressed prior to the payment.
Right.
Because now we're in a situation where we have thousands of businesses in the city, and if everybody comes saying okay, well, I accidentally paid the late fee I owed, it's just a tough situation. I don't think that the city should be in a position to refund funds that were owed to them and that were paid. It seems to be an internal issue between the board and this gentleman.
Well, that's why, to me, I think if they would have came in the first place, we would have probably been inclined to waive some or all of the late fees, but now that they're paid, and I don't want to start something new here that's going to cause us problems, I'm inclined to leave it just as is. That's my opinion. And I have nothing against the yacht club. You guys are great, and you've been here a long time, but you went about it the wrong way, and I think it's going to put us in a bad spot here. So that's my opinion.
I certainly understand we don't want to set a bad precedence.
We don't want to either. That's why I think I'm inclined to just leave it as is, and I apologize for that, but I wish you would have came, or somebody would have came prior to paying the late fees.
No, I think that if this is an appeal, I think the action by the board, if they're inclined to leave it as is, needs to be to deny the appeal.
Can we just get clarification that our building, or our business permit is
license?
good?
You're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're more than good. You're paid up, right, Lisa? Right? Yeah, you're definitely fine as far as the city's concerned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, motion to deny the request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming today. Okay, letter J, late business license for Doggy Details. Good morning.
Good morning. So this is a appeal hearing that was heard back in August, on August 15th. The board we had 2 years listed as being owed based on evidence found on the internet advertising, the Hammond location, as well as signage that was placed on the building, as well as in the parkway, signs that they were open and accepting business, soliciting to acquire business, and that's why the initial findings and decisions had 23 and 24 on it. Now, the board did waive the late fee, however, the fees were not paid. And based on what the controllers had informed me, that now they would be owed for 23, 24, and 25 at this point.
Okay, so help me with this, because our memory is, he comes in because he could not pay 24 because 23 was owed. So we waived 23.
Right, so then there
Okay.
would have been 2 years that needed to be paid.
So he could have paid 23 and 24 at a
Correct.
regular price.
Correct.
So, sir, what happened, why didn't you pay 23 and 24 after we waived the late fees for 23?
In my understanding is I came because of the late fees, which is not 2 years, it's 3 years. Originally, when I applied my application, I already paid the license, was $125. Then they wanted additional for 2 years plus late fee. So when I came upon the board, which was in August, as he said, I thought, okay, the fees and the late fee got waived. So I'm like, okay, well, my payment's due, so I don't have to do nothing. So they're gonna run through the system, see that I'm up to date, and it'll be fine. Well, I've received another letter, nope, you gotta pay late fee. Now you missed the original fee. I was like, but I paid that. Now you're gonna pay late fee on top of late fee. So that's why we're here again, because I'm like, well, I thought it got waived, but apparently it didn't. So here we are in front of the board again.
But I don't understand, we waived the late fees, but that doesn't take away that you still owe the regular fees, which is 105.
I paid the regular fee. See, I thought, like I said, with the original was with the fee and the license, but it wasn't.
Okay.
So in my understanding, so it's my fault for not following up. So they sent me another court date, and then the late fees added up again.
The only payment we have from this business is 2025 regular.
Okay,
So I understand the late fees were in August were waived. That means 23 and 24 regular business license, 105.
Yeah.
105
okay.
was owed, given 60 days to pay. That 60 days lapsed. A new letter went out. He paid 25 for 25, but we still have 23 and 24 regular owed.
Okay, so Mr. Cavello, are you able to pay 23 and 24 at 105 per year today?
Total of 210.
No, I'm
210.
not.
Okay, when are you going to be able to?
At least 30 days.
Okay,
It's-
but we
it's the
gave you
actual-
60 before.
I didn't know. Like I said, originally I thought it was the license and the late fee, and it wasn't. That's where the misunderstanding. On my part, I'll take responsibility because I didn't follow up. So it was just the late fee was taken up, which is fine. But they're saying that I owe for the two. That's fine.
What date is, January 31st, right? If, I can tell you, Mr. Cavello, if we extend to January 31st to allow you to pay the 210, if you do not pay the 210 by January 31st, the late fees will then be,
Got it.
we will put them back on there.
Got it. Correct.
I want to be very clear on that.
Oh, we're clear now.
Okay, we're
good.
clear 100%. You owe
210, yes.
$210 by January 31st.
Got it.
Okay.
Can we declare that on the new finding?
Oh,
decision?
for sure.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes, already. Okay, so we understand each other, Mr. Cavello?
Correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Motion to, I guess, grant a waiver of the late fees until January 31st. At that time, the late fees will be enforced in full, along with payment.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. President, is
Yeah.
he going to get a piece of paper?
Yes.
Yeah.
Miss-
Mr. Cavello, just if you could stay till after the meeting, okay? Okay, thank you. Okay, number 11, late rental registration hearing for 6534 Delaware.
Morning.
Good morning, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
We know who you are, but can you give your name, please?
Jason Rakos.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Could you tell us what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I just forgot. I don't remember getting anything in the mail or email or anything like that. I just promise it won't happen again, I'll tell you that.
The first time the property was registered was in 2022, so we're just here for 23 and 24. Single-family home, no issues prior. So first offense.
Can I ask, when are those due by, January 31st?
January 1st to
First.
April 15th
Oh,
is when you
okay.
have
Yeah,
that
3
window to
months.
pay.
Okay. It will definitely never happen again.
Okay, We're good then.
Okay. Motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Jason, if you want to wait till the meeting's over, you can take this downstairs and pay the $10, okay?
Yes, for
Okay.
sure. Thank you.
Have a good day. Okay, number 12, the meeting's open to the public. Anybody have anything they want to say? Okay? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.